Welcome to the Last Week This Week review of Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 1. And in our reviews, we usually go with some non-spoiler talk and then get into some spoilers afterwards. But let me hear what you thought of this one, Zack.
You know, I don't even think we really need to talk about this episode because I don't really think that really that much stuff happened, to be completely honest.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Our characters are, exactly where they were at the last season, and nothing
actually
significantly changes at all. So I think we should just skip this entirely. No.
We're stopped recording here. And
so it was interesting because I can't say that I was completely in love with it.
Yeah.
I also really did enjoy a lot of things about it. It was a different tone, in a sense, than the first season.
Really strong similarities, though, to season one's opener.
Right. Well, yeah. I agree. It's just interesting after rewatching the first season.
Yeah, you're way more fresh.
The way that the first episode goes and sets the tone and the way that Chris is as a character is like a complete 180 to how he is now in a lot of ways.
Right.
So it was just interesting. I don't really know how to feel about it. I'm kind of waiting to watch the next few episodes till I get a sense for things. But
right.
Overall, I had a good time. I'm intrigued. I just don't know how I feel about it entirely just yet. I'm not like, oh man, it was so good, because I don't particularly feel that way.
I think it was a really strong start for the arc they're laying out. For me, and I won't go super spoiler yet, but in general, everyone's down on their luck, and I think we're kind of building back to reuniting the band, right?
Right.
And basically everyone's kind of shit on their luck besides Adebayo, right? That's her name.
I mean, she's kind of down on her luck.
But even then, she started her own business. She's doing decently well compared to everyone else, right? I mean, nobody else is even two of them aren't working.
Well, I would say, not giving any spoilers, I would say Economos and Vigilante are probably the best at where they are right now. They probably are at the best spot out of everybody.
Yes.
I don't know
I'm
how
not
you
sure.
can argue out of that one, to be honest.
I could. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there when we can talk spoilers. Right. But I was really impressed by how fluidly they brought everything over to the new DC universe. I really dug the song choices that he put in there in the first episode. I like the new intro song. I thought that was good. I'm excited to see how everyone ends up in their role, who we haven't seen yet,
Right.
And what else? I thought the, from the trailers everyone's seen, I thought the use of his interdimensional pocket area that his dad made, I thought that was done really well, and where he went in that was done really well. And there's a new character which I thought was really was a really good surprise. I had a theory that that's who it was, and and there was an emotional moment in that episode with Chris / Peacemaker that I really loved. So I think it's a very strong start for the season for sure. But let's get into some spoilers so we can talk specifics. Now, when I was talking about everyone's down on their luck, Chris, auditioned for the Justice Gang, and he was embarrassed and mocked during the interview, and he was upset afterwards.
And that's the thing, I feel like that scene, I was supposed to be laughing more than I was, if that makes sense. But I'm also completely open to the idea that it was kind of funny, but it was also kind of sad.
I think I got both. Yeah.
But I wasn't like the camel toe joke. Didn't laugh at.
No.
There was a couple other jokes like I didn't laugh at.
Yeah,
that's
not everything can land.
Like,
right.
I felt like a lot of the jokes this episode, I don't know if it was just like because it was a sadder tone or if the jokes just weren't landing. I don't know.
Interesting. But yeah, no, then you also have like Amelia Harcourt, who like can't get a job with any other government agency because Amanda Waller's like blackballed her. And we see her get into a very like similar fight to like she got into the beginning of season 1 at a biker bar.
Yeah, but this one's better.
This one is better, and she just wants to like release her anger on people, and it's just like she has an excuse to fight people. I thought that was really cool. Good song in that. I think what was that song? That was Blue Jeans by Silvertine. That was a good one. They've done a good job of like finding more songs that like fit Peacemaker's vibe in general. So I'm happy with that for sure. But yeah, and then
that's interesting that you say that because I feel like the first season did that.
I agree. I'm just saying like it's continuing like what it's been
I see
doing.
what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then John Economos. So I think he's in a good spot, yes, because he's working for Argus. But like
nothing's
I don't think
really
he's
changed for him,
Sure, but I don't think he's happy to be like betraying his group. Like I don't think he wants to be spying on Chris.
No.
And in that sense, he's not doing well.
Yeah, but I would say out of all of the original like 11th Street kids, him and Vigilante are at the top of everybody.
But Vigilante's just back at his fast food gig or whatever it is. Like,
I know he is, but he's still like he was here. Like everybody went like this way a little bit, and now they've all come down, and he's just stayed, the same. So like, in a sense, he is doing really well,
and he's got friends he can call. So I mean, now he's actually doing better. So.
Right, he's got two best friends.
Two best friends he can call. Yeah, exactly.
And that was the other thing. I thought I was gonna laugh during that conversation. I didn't laugh during that conversation.
You didn't laugh? Damn, dude. We're not in a laughing mood this episode.
I don't know, man. It was a sad tone. That episode felt sad. I feel like I just have to like get into it a little. I think even when I watched the first episode the first time, I wasn't in love. I don't know if I was in love with it. I might have, but it wasn't until like the second and third, and they had come out all like 3 episodes together, and I was like, I think I really enjoy this, so I'm just like waiting. But it's
sorry, go on.
Well, I just wanted to say that I think when it always makes me sad when our characters like off screen are not like they're all separated,
like split up and doing shitty. And,
you see that it'd been like 6 months since he took Eagly into the quantum unfolding chamber and saw his dad,
alternate reality dad,
and which was a great scene. I loved how the episode started. It was really
good. I didn't expect for it to be like a 6-month gap in between like his first time going in there,
right. But I think it just like I'm like they're not all together.
But it's gonna feel so good when we reunite. I think it'll be like next episode or a third episode or something that we reunite. Because they even showed it that scene in the trailers. Remember? Where
they all have the beers.
Yeah, and like Vigilante keeps throwing the beer to Economos.
Maybe that's the end of the season. We don't know.
That would suck. I would hate that.
We don't know.
We got to reunite way sooner than the end of the season. What else? Yeah. So. They're all down on their luck. I did love the what was it? The I think the favorite. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Sorry, let me rewind. what I really loved about the first season, and I think what sold me on that first episode was the ending where he gets into that fight in the apartment and it goes to a parking lot and he puts on the helmet and like explodes everything, right?
Right.
I think they try and do a very similar thing at the end of this episode where they leave you at this like very dramatic fight and he ends up killing, his doppelganger, his duplicate, and you're left with like, oh fuck, what happens next, right? And I think they're trying to go for that similar like hook,
Right. I think the only thing is like I just kind of thought that was gonna happen, so I wasn't.
You thought he was gonna kill himself?
Well,
I didn't expect him to kill his alternate self. To be honest.
Yeah, no. I mean, when I saw that fight scene had like dropped a little tease of it, and like he had the gun up against his head, like back when we first watched this trailer. Like, I just kind of thought he's probably doppelganger is probably gonna die.
Sure.
So the whole, at least for me, not saying like, oh, there
just wasn't any big surprises for you. Right.
It just felt like I figured that was gonna happen. It was cool. Right. I liked the fight scene. It was cool. Yeah. I was surprised by how he died. I did not see that coming.
No.
And I really enjoyed
tech.
Like I really enjoyed the jetpack. He's gonna get a jetpack finally.
Yeah.
I like how they use the space of him like flying across off camera, then comes back around, and it kind of they made good use of that endless Pocket
dimension.
space in a sense.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I liked how like it almost felt like a horror movie or a really intense R-rated action movie, the way he was just like mercilessly beating our Peacemaker.
Well, and like the tech he had, the throwing stars, like that came out of his helmet.
Oh, and that was pretty. Yeah.
Oh my god, I was like, that could kill somebody alone, just like tearing up their back like that.
Right.
That was insane. I can't believe like he wasn't more hurt from that. But Peacemaker's pretty tough, I guess. So.
Yeah. So I mean, I liked it. It wasn't the same way of when you had never seen a sonic boom go off and
right. And you're like, his helmet can do that.
and the person just exploded. And
no, it is a little stronger in season 1. I will give you that. Yeah,
I think, but I had heard about the orgy scene, so that wasn't like the most shocking
I hadn't heard anything about that. But I think what is shocking though is that like we're going from a very bright and kind of happy Superman to like 2 months later we get like the most nudity I've ever seen in a DC property and a lot of violence, killing. It's just like it's a very different tone set in the same world, and like that's exactly what James Gunn promised, and I'm for it, honestly.
And I think it's correct to say when we had talked about the fact that it's not gonna, you don't really need to see Superman beforehand.
Right.
It really felt like you didn't need to see that at all.
I think it helps a little with context, like I was predicting. Yeah, but it doesn't. It's not necessary.
That's how that is with any good sequel movie. You know.
Right. Yeah, because like they referred to the,
but it's not necessary.
They referred to the interdimensional rift as like the Lex Luthor incident or something like that.
Right.
So it doesn't like. You don't have to know what happened in Metropolis to know that, like...
You just know that something bad had happened with an interdimension.
Right, something similar to
interdimensional device.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Now, I do think the highlight of this episode, probably for me, was, like, the scene where he, like, fully goes into the alternate reality before that fight we were talking about, and he, like... finds this alternate reality version of his dad who's like way nicer, and then he also finds his brother who he killed as a kid, and like it was very emotional, like seeing Chris like break down after they left the room. I was like, beautiful scene.
Yeah, well, it was also I listened to the podcast where they talked about it, and it was like it wasn't in the script, but when Robert Patrick like tugs on his ear, like they were like, that's genius.
Nice.
And it's true, like the way that he like very affectionately just messes with his ear as he's walking by, half drunk, was, I mean, it was really sweet. And
it's so
and
sweet.
Also,
right.
Is the guy that plays Keith, that's not the guy from who was Pam's boyfriend in The Office, is it?
It is.
Because that's what Hannah said, and I was like, it might be.
No, it definitely is. Yeah. That's wow, I'm a horrible Office fan for forgetting his name. That is fuck.
He's really tall, by the way. He's super like, tall.
Like the thing is like John Krasinski, who played Jim Halpert, is like already 6'3", and he's taller than him. You know,
yeah,
so it's like,
he's really tall.
He's really tall. Yeah, and I loved that. Like, you got to see their like, you know, news clippings almost of like the top trio like taking down villains and seeing what life could have been for Peacemaker if like he had a very different childhood.
I'm low key hoping that one of those news clippings like happens again.
Yeah. Which one?
It's the top trio defeats the Ultra Humanite, because if they, I like that villain a lot, and if they have another ape in season 2, and it's that would be great.
Interesting.
Another ape
I don't know
that
anything
can
about
talk.
the Ultra Humanite.
Yeah, Ultra Humanite's pretty fun one. I'd really love to see that if they wanna do it.
Yeah, he first appeared in 1939. That's crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was around the time where if you had an ape on the cover of a DC comic,
it sold really well. Yeah,
there was a time period where you would sell more comics if you had a gorilla.
That's why there's so many ape-like villains out there. So,
that was cool. I like that the Ultra Humanite. Maybe we'll never see it, but in a way is canon. I don't know. I wouldn't say never.
No, I'm not going to say never either. But
this is coming from the person who's got a pet eagle, a flying dog, and a talking raccoon.
Sure,
you know,
sure.
And it all works. Yeah. So
it does all work. It does.
And King Shark.
Yeah.
And Groot. So
are there any others? I think
talking animals.
I mean, Weasel. He's not talking.
Sort of.
Sort of. Yeah.
Sort of.
You know, Creature Commandos. You know.
All of Rocket's friends.
Yeah, you're right. All of Rocket's friends. But yeah, I think that's everything that kind of on.
I like the scene between Chris and Harcourt.
Oh, like at her place.
Yeah.
And
like they're talking about like, you know, that you know, your car. I mean, one time I almost beat it up also because it was playing 30 Seconds to Mars, and I thought that was funny.
Yeah. What's funny is that I actually didn't know there was a post-credit scene, so I missed it.
What was it? Oh wait. I watched it. Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, wasn't it?
And they're
just
walking up the stairs. Yeah.
And she like Harcourt like just talking shit about 30 Seconds to Mars or
yeah.
So he clearly is maybe not a fan of Jared Leto. I think that's a well-known thing now, but
also like I just don't really like. There was a time where 30 Seconds to Mars was like I
think it's still a thing.
A fine band, but now they're just kind of creepy and weird. Right. Personally,
Jared Leto's kind of creepy and weird. So
yeah, but I really enjoyed that. You know, like what happened on the boat. You know, maybe we all assumed that there was sex and like they hooked up.
Right. Yeah.
But do we know for sure that's what happened on the boat?
Yeah. I mean, I'm heavily assuming that they hooked up.
I think we're gonna find out.
Sure, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I'll leave the possibility open that we may not know what exactly happened on the boat.
I don't think that's out of the possibility that we'll see that scene.
There might be something else that had happened.
Yeah, but very interesting that she is still rejecting him after all they went through after what they had happen on the boat, you know. I think it's obviously too because she's in a horrible spot, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think that we're going to learn who Harcourt's dad was.
Ooh. Okay.
And I also, I think we're going to learn who Harcourt's dad is. I think I have a theory, but I'm open to, you know, I am like, I could be totally wrong.
Do you want to lay down your theory here? Or?
I wouldn't be surprised if her dad was like Deathstroke or something.
Whoa. But like, where does the Harcourt name come from?
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe just a made up name. Yeah. Because I know she is a character that exists in the comics, like Amelia Harcourt. So maybe they tie her in with like some comic lore, but I don't know anything about her character in the comics. So
right. It could also be a completely made up character that is just like a violent person. But I don't know. I'm theorizing here.
Yeah, no, I like it. I'd love to see some Deathstroke in the new DC. So that sounds cool to me. But yeah, I think the last thing I wanted to highlight, I mentioned at the very beginning that like I really liked how fluidly they brought him over into like this new universe, and they did that with like the recap, which I wasn't expecting it to like just be right there. But they recap the whole first season, and then at the end of it, they show the scene where they're like walking past the Justice League, and you know he's like, "Thanks for your help, you fucking dicks," and instead, they like just take out the Justice League from the old DCEU and put in the new Justice Gang, which is Mr. Terrific and Hawkgirl and Green Lantern and Superman and Supergirl. And they swap out Aquaman and Flash's like banter for Hawkgirl and Green Lanterns. So yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised about how seamless that was, and there's no like explanation of, oh yeah, he's going into the pocket dimension to go to a new universe and he's just going to stay there forever. It's just like he's always been here and this is what it is. So
yeah. It's so simple that it just makes you feel like an idiot sometimes.
Exactly. You're like, oh yeah, there wasn't like a huge thing needed to explain this. It just it is what it is. Yeah.
Because and I mean, like when you take over this and you're like, all right, we're just gonna redo it, but then you want to keep this one thing, it's like, yeah, it's not gonna be seamless, but like, you know.
mean, and technically he's keeping like two things because the Suicide Squad is technically canon still, and he said recently he wants to bring back Bloodsport at some point. So yeah, I mean, yeah, not everything is going to be canon in that either, but I think probably more so than like Peacemaker, because I can't think of a scene you'd have to do that like you did with Peacemaker, you know, in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
You probably just would change potentially the Bloodsport shooting Superman thing.
Probably. Yeah, because like at that point you're like, well, then he's already done it, you know, like to Superman in like his first couple of years as being Superman, which is pretty insane. But that'd be kind of cool, honestly, if you just brought that in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to discuss with that premiere episode. But yeah, I don't know about you. Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm just really excited to see what I guess the last thing I'll say is they're doing what Marvel has yet to do with the multiverse, which is basically tell a character story about, like, in the same way that like Marty McFly or even like the Flash kind of did in a sense, where it's not this seemingly gimmicky kind of way of like trying to show like variance, or the story takes place throughout different universes and it's all like, oh, that's a cool universe, that's a cool universe. It's like they're trying to have Peacemaker have this emotional journey go through of like what he never had.
Right.
And it's so much more interesting because it's about him and his character development, and his arc is by seeing people he knows, but in a different way. So that's really refreshing.
For sure. The only other thing I can think of that really does that well is like Spider-Verse, you know?
Right.
But that's not even really MCU still. That's just Sony.
Right.
So,
Right.
Yeah. No, I agree. They've already done that well, and it's only the first episode. So I'm excited to see where that other alternate universe takes Peacemaker. I'm really excited about episodes 6 through 8 because he hasn't shown those to anybody yet, and he says those are like some of the best episodes he's ever like created, or like some of the best things he's ever created. So
yeah, and there was a quote that Steve Agee said, who plays Economos, said that 6 through 8 is like a whole new season.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I don't even know what that means.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that sounds amazing. Well, yeah, these come out every Thursday, so we'll try and drop those soon after Thursday. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching our review and sticking with us, and we will see you next time.
Yep. See you next time.